Hello my friends, and welcome back to another watercolor tutorial. We are going to paint this cute bear today for Valentine's Day. It doesn't have to be a Valentine's Day card, it can be just a bear. But I just found a silhouette online and I encourage you to do the same. I mean, you can try and freehand it, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just trying to figure out where to start because I am not the best at painting like subjects. I like landscapes, those are much more natural to me, but I wanted to give this a try because I'm kind of running out of things after 4 or so years of doing Valentine's Day tutorials. I'm running out of things to paint, guys, for Valentine's Day. Okay, so I guess I'll start with the top and work my way downwards. I'll start with the ears. So this part is going, like this half, the left half of the bear is going to be darker than this half because the light source is going to come from here. So, gosh, sorry, I am trying to figure out how to do this. I want to water this color down. I took like orange and mixed it with black and brown. And I want to have like fur on this ear, so that's what I'm painting on. I'm painting on these little hair strands coming from the border of the ear, and then we're just going to fill it in. Okay, that ear looks pretty good. And this is going to be much darker. I'm just kind of tempted to leave it for now because if I paint it now, it'll spread into the rest of this ear, which is not what we want. So in the meantime, I'm going to add a little bit of black to that color. And I want to just, see, it's not quite, obviously it's not dry. I just wanted to add like a dark, not border, but kind of a border, and some more hairs onto this guy, especially running down this way as well. Little hairline brush strokes coming from the bottom here. And then that's going to be a bow, so I have to be careful of that. But anyways, I'm going to fill that in before it dries completely. And then we have to make sure we leave this snout and the bow, of course. So I feel like mine is way too dark. I don't know why it's coming out this dark. I already watered it down. I don't technically have to like leave a perfect circle for the eye because we're going to be using black for the eyes, but I will just for placement purposes. I can't believe, okay, so you've been hearing me say in the last several months of tutorials. You've been hearing me say, I'm painting this in May, because I literally painted probably half a year's worth of tutorials in the month of May of 2024. But it is finally June. It is June 3rd. And actually, I'm going to say this in this video, and when I look back at this, when it's released in February, we'll see how I feel about it. But I'm frustrated because we are kind of, I don't really want to not give away, but talk about it yet, but we're doing something. And the first person in line of the people that we have to go through in order to achieve this thing that we're doing is already delaying the process, has already failed to meet the deadline. And it is very frustrating for somebody that values punctuality, and there's another word for being, it's punctual, but like following through on your word. And yeah, they set the deadline themselves. I was open-ended. I'm like, when can you have this done? And they set the date themselves, and I said, can I get that in writing? Because there's a lot of people that are waiting on you to finish your part before we continue on. I got it in writing 3 times, and the man still failed to deliver. He was supposed to be done today, and he is not. And it's very frustrating. Especially, like, I am somebody that, like, when I tell somebody I'm gonna finish something or have something done by a certain date, like, I make sure it is done. And I guess not everybody operates like that, even when you're paying them a lot of freaking money. And I just wonder what the legal ramifications are of that. I don't think we have very much that we can do, but we'll see. This is going to be released in February. Hopefully this will all be behind us by the time this is released in February. It'll be kind of full circle, not full circle, that's probably not the right saying, but it'll be really weird watching this in February if all goes to plan, because then I'll be like, oh, all that stress, and we can finally go about our life. So I know I said that this side was going to be darker, and I've already failed at that. So that's why I'm going to try and pick up some of this pigment and make it lighter. I mean, I could always go over this side again, which I probably will. Okay, so basically I'm just kind of doing the same thing on every part of this bear. I am kind of drawing these or painting these little hair thin lines coming off of each part of the bear for its fur, and then just connecting it with solid color for the rest of the limb. And this just makes him look nice and furry. I'm adding some black here because I did want to make this area a little bit darker. Not that dark, but today was such a nice day. Like I said, it's the beginning of June and we had a really nice warm day. We've had a lot of those recently. And I had to quickly run to the store. Actually, I rollerbladed with the stroller, I might add, to the hardware store because I ran out of, I used up all the seeds that I bought for carrots and beets, thinking I had enough, but which I did have enough, but they didn't germinate in the ground. So I have to still replant them because I haven't done that yet. But on the way back, I decided to stop at the beach because we live just up the hill from the beach. And which is quite a nice little perk of living where we do. Yeah, so I stopped there and I always carry this blanket in the stroller now because you never know when you're gonna want to just stop and chill for a bit with a baby. And so I just put out, actually, funny enough, this blanket, it's not a blanket, it's the bed sheet that I used when I was giving birth on my own bed. And like it's washed and everything, it's fine, but it was a bed sheet that I used because we were gonna, like, it was an old bed sheet that we were retiring anyway, so I decided to use it for birth so that I could just throw it away after, but it wasn't that like stained, so I just washed it and now I use it for the purpose of going to the beach or just going anywhere in the grass. And you're probably thinking, geez, Julia, just buy a blanket that is designated or that is for that purpose. And to that I say, I purposely am using this white bed sheet because it is massive. It is the size of a queen size bed, first of all. And second of all, it's white. And we have so many ticks in our forest and in the area in general. And this thing, like when you lift it, you can see the ticks obviously so easily because it's completely white. And luckily, like at the beach, there aren't as many ticks, which is weird because it's like 200 meters from my house, but we have so many ticks on our property because we're in the forest. And yeah, like every time I put that bed sheet down and then when we're done, I pick it back up and there's at least one tick attached to the underside of it. And I actually had one crawling onto the top as well at some point. And it's such a bummer because I want to let my baby, and if there are any future babies, I want them to be able to like play outside and enjoy their childhood, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to feel good about letting them do that when there are so many ticks. And I obviously don't want to use any chemicals or pesticides to eradicate them because that's even worse. And I bought diatomaceous earth because I read that it kills them. And I did an experiment. Like I took the ticks that were on the bedsheet, underneath the bedsheet, on one of the times that I was using it. And I put them in a little container and I coated them in diatomaceous earth. Like they were white from this powder. And they said that ticks are supposed to die within like 12 hours because the diatomaceous earth pierces their exoskeletons. I'm not really sure how it works, but yeah, I checked 24 hours later and they were still crawling and alive. And then I think after 48 hours they were dead, but they were coated in this stuff. And obviously if I were to distribute this onto my lawn, it wouldn't be coated in it because I do not have that much diatomaceous earth to just turn my entire lawn into this sheet of white dust. So I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what to do. We live in kind of the worst part of the province for ticks. Unfortunately, that's just how things worked out. But I love this area and I don't want to leave just because of ticks. But it sucks because my childhood was like, we never worried about ticks. We just ran around in the bushes, like rolled in the hay, not hay, we didn't have hay fields, rolled around in the grass in the fields, in the hydro field. Like there was no worry about ticks. And now it's like this, basically, I don't want to use any medical terms here that are going to flag my video since this is not related at all, but it's not great. It's certainly unfortunate that this is how it has came to be, and I have my own thoughts on it, but I am not going to get into them here for obvious reasons. What was my entire point of this story? Why did I start talking about ticks? Oh, right, because I said I went to the beach today. I stopped at the beach on my way home from the hardware store on my rollerblades. And we had a lovely time. My daughter and I, we just, sometimes I can catch her in a really good mood and we can just sit on the bed sheet. I'm gonna call it a blanket from now on because it's weird if I keep saying bed sheet. But yeah, we sit on the blanket and just enjoy the beautiful warm air, the beautiful breeze, and then yeah, it was quite nice. I was probably there for over an hour. And then when she started fussing, we went home. And it's always a trek to get back home because we're going up this really steep hill. But anyway, you can't have it all, right? Like you have to make some compromises. Can't go downhill both ways, literally. Okay. So this is kind of a raggedy looking bear, but that's quite all right with me. Yeah, there's not really much to instruct here. You just keep doing the same thing. You pick a limb, do the fur on the outside, and then fill it in. I would have liked to make this a little bit more orange than it ended up looking. But what are you gonna do? Okay, so now we have kind of the lighter parts to do, which is the snout area, as well as these little patches on the feetsies. So I'm going to take like a nude or a cream color and mix that in with my brown. And then just paint that right on. Although I might add a little bit of yellow to that. The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. Okay, I do want to just blend this out with water. Okay, there we go. You know what I do sometimes? When I need something to stay white and I don't want it from blending, I take toilet paper and just dab it to make it dry. Something like that. Okay. I should have done that on the tummy as well. But I don't know if I'm gonna go back and deal with that. This doesn't have to be a perfect bear. What I am gonna do now is do the red bow. Actually, first I'm gonna take a bit of black and mix it in with the brown and just add it here. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that red I was talking about and paint on the bow. Actually, a pink would be even nicer, I think, if you have that. Because red, it could be like a Christmas bear, but pink is definitely Valentine's Day. So obviously we're not painting this in the same way that we painted the, like we're not adding hair to it on either side. So I'm just filling in the little silhouette that I painted for myself here. Like so. So I've left little white lines separating the bow, like the strings that come down from the bows and the middle part. You don't have to do that. I just think it separates the bow nicely rather than it being this blob. I forgot, I also have to do the part that goes around the neck. So I'm also going to leave a little white gap there as well. Like so, and that, if you dare, you can add like black or something darker. And I'm just gonna blend those out. We'll now fill in the little beady eyes. Whenever I say beady eyes, I got that from The Office. I don't know if any of you guys watch. I'm sure somebody watches. I have to fix that somehow. Shoot. But there is an episode where Dwight gets fired. And so he goes to work at Staples. And one of his coworkers says something like, I forget what it is, but something about his beady little eyes. And I always laughed at that. And if you don't watch The Office, or you don't know what I'm talking about, then pretend that you didn't hear that, because it probably made absolutely no sense to you. So yeah, I'm just filling in the black nose, sorry, the nose black and the eyes black, and I'm kind of tempted to take a marker for this part because I don't trust myself, but no, I'm just going for it. I do want to make the bear smile, because it is a happy occasion, or it should be. I know Valentine's Day isn't for everybody, but it's my birthday. Okay, and we should give him little eyebrows. Boop. Boop. And another thing that we'll do, because right now his eyes look like you're staring into a black hole. So I'm gonna add a bit of white acrylic paint. Actually, I'm gonna add white acrylic paint to a few areas. So I'll just grab my little thing here. So I'm gonna add a bit of white, like a white reflection, to his feet. I'm going to add it to his belly. I'm going to add it to his ear. I might be overdoing it, honestly. So let me smooth the ear out a bit. The face. And then we'll do like a little, oh no, the nose and the eyes are still wet, but I don't want to use the hair dryer because my daughter is sleeping. But what I would do is I dry this so that they're completely dry, and then I just do a dot, dot, and then dot, dot on the nose. As simple as that. And that's all I think that I would do on this bear. Maybe add another highlight here. You could technically go over it twice, make it a little bit darker, but we're 30 minutes into this and I'm happy with how this guy turned out. Actually, oh, you know what would be really cute? Sorry, I always do this, but I see something. That would, you can add a little heart balloon. Oh, that would be cute. But I did want to add a bit of a pink shadow. How cute. I really like that. I think that was a good decision to add that. It's a little extra splash of pink, splash of Valentine's Day spirit. I'm tempted to add that little balloon, but I don't want to overdo it. Should we add it? I don't know. It would be so cute if there was a little balloon. No, I'm not going to do it. You might see it in the thumbnail if I decide to add it, but that is it. We're going to stop it there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll be sure to see you in the next tutorial.